Now, Julia, a lot came out of this seventh hearing. Firstly, it showed how Donald Trump scrambled for a way to cling to power by force. That's according to the committee.
Absolutely. It really showed how President Trump, in the committee's view, and this is what they're trying to prove, had a hand in really organizing this gathering and, what those around him thought the gathering could result in. There were apparently concerns from his allies that this could get out of hand, that there were safety concerns. But it was interesting because the committee zeroed in on one tweet that was sent in December that essentially announced the January 6th hearing. It said it's going to be wild, for example. So, it shows that President Trump had a hand in obviously organizing the rally. And, with using words like be wild, that really brings to question whether he knew or how, whether he had any idea how out of hand it could get.
Well, the committee also revealed that during the course of these hearings, Donald Trump tried to contact one of the witnesses involved.
Yes, Liz Cheney at the closing of yesterday's hearing in the U.S. essentially said, look, you haven't heard from this committee witness, but President Trump made a call to this witness. And she said that this was immediately brought to the witness's attorney's attention. The attorney brought it to the committee's attention, and the committee brought it to the Justice Department's attention. Now, witness tampering is a crime in the United States, so we don't know what direction the Justice Department will go in. I think it depends a lot on, whether they can prove that or have a reason to believe President Trump was actually tampering with this witness. They'll look at the language that was used, maybe some of the tactics that were used if they believe it's witness tampering. But it's a very serious allegation, and obviously President Trump's team very much pushing back on this, going after Liz Cheney, saying it's essentially not true and has been misconstrued.
Well, how worried do you think Donald Trump is about all of this?
It's a good question. I think Donald Trump is certainly paying attention to this because this is being covered by the U.S. news media. So he's obviously paying attention to it. He very much cares what people think about him, or he's, seemingly cares what they think about him, what's being reported on him. So he's paying attention to this. And, if he were to be calling witnesses, if he did call this one witness, and we know that last month there was a text sent to Cassidy Hutchinson, a former aide to President Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, in the text essentially said, Trump knows you're loyal, Trump knows you'll do the right thing. If he's sending these messages to witnesses, it does make you question whether he is actually worried going forward because he's trying to insert himself into this.
And Julia, what can we expect next from the hearings?
Look, I think we can expect to see probably more so what happened in the Capitol, what happened during those hours. We'll probably get a play-by-play in terms of footage. We'll probably get more insight as to where President Trump was and what he was thinking during these hearings, during the attack. We've already gotten that insight before. However, I think the committee is really looking to do a deeper dive on this going forward.
Julia, meanwhile, Joe Biden has arrived in the Middle East, his first visit as US president, and there's a lot on the agenda here.
There is a lot on the agenda. President Biden, first of all, is facing an energy crisis here in the U.S. So he's going to Saudi Arabia and trying to, strike some sort of deal or, smooth over some relations. But that's very awkward because we know that President Biden has been very vocal about the killing of U.S. journalist Jamal Khashoggi that was allegedly done by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, or directed by him. So there's that awkward piece of this, but also President Biden is trying to confront growing Iranian influence and trying to tamper down on Iran's nuclear energy or nuclear weapons program. So we'll see him meeting with Israeli officials and other officials in the region addressing that issue as well.
Well, if there's one thing he wants to achieve from this visit, what would that be? What is his priority?
Look, I think energy is probably his number one priority in making sure he's smoothing over relations in the region. The Middle East has always been a fraught area for U.S. foreign policy and Western foreign policy in general. However, he has to deal with the issue of energy, the issue of smoothing over relations with countries like Saudi Arabia or Israel at a time when there's tensions between Israelis and Palestinians. We know that earlier this year, a Palestinian-American journalist was killed during an exchange exchange of gunfire, in the country. So that's definitely a major point of concern. So a lot of tensions on this trip, and President Biden really trying to smooth it over. He has a very deep background in foreign policy, so I think this is very much his element, but very fraught times indeed.
Indeed. Julia Manchester, always great to get your views. Thank you.
Thank you.